Hello everyone, I'm RecV5,
And I'm Sandman99.
and we're back with Fallout 4 G9-13 playthrough, and I see you have a new outfit.
Yes. I said I was going to swap out the look here from time to
These
time.
pretzels are making me thirsty.
And what we have here is the Naughty Secretary outfit by Deserter X. Who
Nice.
is the same designer that did the body replacer that I'm using as well.
Okay.
So everything that G9-13 is wearing right now, except for the cap and the gloves, are part of the Naughty Secretary outfit. And the reason that I'm wearing the caps and the gloves is because that outfit doesn't have any equivalent to those pieces.
Yeah, and you like the gloves.
Well, and also the cap and the gloves provide additional armor protection and that kind of thing too, right?
But those gloves are from the old Minuteman uniform you were wearing for a while, right?
Yeah, that's right. And also you'll notice that I've got the armbands back on now, like that silver armband, although it's kind of underneath the arm loop for the
People
top
say
here.
humanity is fallen
And on
since
the other
war.
arm, that
How
leather
great could they have
band with
been
the
to have
silver
done
beads,
this
right?
themselves?
Yep.
And that's from the Easy Girl mod. So you can mix and match things, you know, between one mod and another, right?
And get extra
I've still
armor
got
pieces that way.
Yeah, and get extra armor pieces that way. Like I've got some neck jewelry. I'm still wearing Barb's necklace there, and then a choker from another mod.
Need something?
And the earrings, of course, and the navel piercing, right? So anyway, looks kind of sharp. You'll notice that G9-13 is now taller than everybody else.
Yeah, that's because you got heels on, right?
That's because I actually had to download a mod called the High Heels System or something like that for Fallout 4.
Yep.
And all of the DX outfit mods that come equipped with high heels, which is most of
Anything
them,
I can do?
rely on
just
that
say a
mod
word.
in order to get that support. Although they will still work, except that if you look at your character's feet,
They'll be half sunk in the
they'll
ground.
be half sunk into the ground, right?
I don't think it'll be easy.
But anyway,
yeah.
in the last episode, we guarded Barb while she used ground-penetrating radar to, I guess, map where the Institute's underground complex is or something.
Yep.
There, see, there's the Mr. Dr. Pepper outfit. I just put it on a mannequin there, because I may go back to wearing it someday. And then there's the previous outfit. So every time I switch,
You build a mannequin.
I'll build a mannequin and put my old outfit on that mannequin somewhere, right?
Yeah. Barb was out there doing, I don't know, would you call that surveying?
Yeah, no, it wasn't surveying. It was more like seismic kind of
Okay.
stuff, right? Ground penetrating radar. I would imagine that probably the way that a lot of oil exploration and stuff like that goes on in the real world, they probably use similar or sort of that kind of technology
Yeah,
for doing that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know a whole lot about that kind of stuff. I'm just guessing, really.
Who knows?
I'm just making that shit up.
Well, you're the survey guy, so...
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, my surveying experience was more construction related and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it had absolutely nothing to do with oil field stuff at all, right? Anyway, attend the next meeting in 24 hours. So I thought maybe we would wander over to, let's see if we've got anything else pressing going on here at the moment.
Like a settlement attack?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So maybe what we'll do, since we don't have anything to do for the next 24 hours of game time, is we'll wander over to the Starlight Drive In and have a look at my factory.
Oh, you finally finished it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know what? Maybe somebody might have some tips for me as to how I could finish it. But,
You're still conflicted on design.
Well, the thing is, I know what I want to do, but a lot of the pieces don't exist for what I want to do. Because what I think of in that kind of thing is I think in terms of loop back circuits. And it's kind of where when you're screening and crushing gravel, well, anything that's rejected at one point is put onto a conveyor belt, which is usually then run backward around to back to the crusher again.
Yep.
To get re-crushed. because you basically, anything that passes over the screens after the crusher, well, it's too big, so you need to recrush it in order to get it to fit through the screens, right?
Yep.
And it's kind of like loop back circuits. So you have a conveyor belt that takes the appropriate size product away, usually out to a like stockpile stacker or something like that. And the other stuff gets looped back around and reprocessed until it's the appropriate, qualities to it, right? And that's what I was thinking of when I wanted to start building this thing, because the idea is I've got one great big hopper that I put all my junk items in, and then it feeds it past all of these other sorting stations, I guess, and anything that passes around the beginning again just continues through the system. But the problem is that the pieces just don't exist. So, like there's too many different designations, I guess, for components, and you can't sort everything out, right?
I see.
But anyway, gotta eat something now. We'll have a blood bug steak there. Oh, I hear some shooting.
Oh, there you go. Who said this episode would be without action?
Yeah. Well, I didn't say it would be without action. It's just that, while I was just going to kill some time here while we waited for the...
4 words. Full body cavity search. Don't stop till you feel the back of the tonsils.
Okay, I think I need to turn my headset up a little bit, though, because the game is a bit quiet.
Yeah, well, It is that time of year again where we've got the furnace going on up here and things like that.
Yeah.
Snow on the ground.
Yeah, when the furnace runs, all of a sudden, oh, wow, look at this. Super mutants now. Oh, an invisible one coming there.
Oh, he got you anyways. I like how that guy was mid-swing and you still staggered him.
Super move. Aim for the neck and head. Pose if you need
Okay.
There you go, that's what you needed.
Had about enough of your nonsense.
Yo, he's the guy who keeps interrupting you, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's another one here somewhere, too. Okay, well...
Oop, there's a grenade.
Yeah, he's throwing grenades now.
Blowing up his buddy.
Oh, your mother.
Oh, I'm empty. Maybe that's why I switched weapons there,
Click,
right?
click.
Because I shot the gun empty, so I switched weapons and I didn't have a chance to reload.
I'll get you. Click, click.
There.
The gun don't go boom no more.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a grenade going on there. We'll pick up his stuff, too. Since is how we're heading toward a settlement, we can maybe, scrap some of this stuff and get a bunch of useful components out of it.
There you go. That would be an interesting mod to make.
What's that?
Fallout 4, but every single enemy has nuka grenades.
No, that's not a freezing balisong. So this is a balisong knife, which is another Niher weapon mod.
Yep.
And it's
Nice
basically
to be able to stretch my legs again.
a fancy switchblade, but there's some pretty neat custom animations with it. So we'll show you here. Whoop. Okay, it doesn't really give you any third-person custom animations, but watch this.
Nice.
Right, and then you go to put it away. Right.
Well, but it's freezing too, which means
Yeah, but it has the freezing effect on it. But anyway, now we need to consume some kind of item in order to fix ourselves up a bit, because we took a bit of a beating there in that melee combat.
Yeah, that damn Nightkin kept staggering you out of your thing.
Yeah. Ice cold Nuka-Cola orange.
There you go, that'll work.
Sure. Well, for most of it anyway. What else can we do here?
You could drink 15 things of purified water.
No. I think we're okay for now.
Just gotta go stand beside some irradiated barrels.
Yeah, we'll just make sure we're reloaded here. We might have to switch to this one now, because we're starting to run a little low on 45s.
All the more reason to come back to your ammo manufacturing.
Yeah, well, maybe we can make some 45 ammunition here just to demonstrate how this thing works. It's too bad though, like they just didn't have all of the pieces that I felt like I needed. You know?
Well, what were you were trying to get it to loop back into the hopper?
Well, I got everything to loop back into the feed hopper, but what the ideal situation would be is if you could put stuff into the main hopper and then have it sorted out into every separate line.
Okay, yeah.
But you have to identify each and every unique thing, like a spring would be something where every junk item that has a spring in it would get sorted out into a line. And every item that has, you know, like, I don't know, a gear in it would get sorted out into a line if you put it into that item sorter, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem is that if you have something that has both a spring and a gear, well, it's going to get sorted into whatever line is first.
Yeah.
In the line, right? So there just wasn't enough ways for me to be able to, I don't know, just kind of sort things out the way that I wanted. But anyway, I'm building this up an awful lot here and talking about it quite a bit. We're almost there.
Yeah, you can maybe...
So I like to use the top of the drive-in screen for power generation. I put windmills up there. And I do different variations. Sometimes I'll try and fence the entire area in. Sometimes I'll do like 3 or 4 separate little fenced compounds, kind of.
I think your auto-close gate is auto-open.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. If it's open, then that's okay. At least I don't, you know, sometimes they'll glitch so that they're closed and they think they're open. Anyway, we need to pause for a second here, I think.
Alright. And we're back.
Yes, we had to just work out a technical sound issue.
Yeah, because Microsoft here, their sound system forgets your settings every now and then. And so you always have to go back and redo your settings for some reason.
Yes, it's very annoying. You'd think that after all these years, they'd be able to get something like that right.
Yeah, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, that's why, like, even standing beside, like, these generators here, it was actually a lot quieter than it should have been.
I couldn't even hear them running.
Yeah, right? And it might have been quieter on your guys' end, too, in the recording. So sorry about that. That's just a Microsoft thing. Anyway. Usually it happens to our microphones, so we pick up on it right away, and we just adjust that before the recording. But this time around...
But anyway, here we go. So this is the overview, right? And it takes a lot of power to run a setup this big, as you can see.
Yep.
Because those are all the large generators.
Yeah.
Because I don't have enough science to build a fusion generator.
So okay.
So I can't build one that gives me 100 energy in one shot. And of course, at times I was a little short on building materials, so I had to put a little one in. And yeah, so anyway, I'm not sure how much power that is. It's like I think those are 16 a piece or something, right?
Yeah.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, 6, and a couple of medium-sized ones, and that little one. Yeah. Well, anyway, here's the control room, and I've got two. I have found something odd, is that only one computer terminal. If you have more than one computer terminal in your settlement, only one of them will actually control what your fabricating machines do. Right?
Oh,
like
okay.
This one doesn't do it. It just acts like a normal settler type control thing. So I have to look at this one. And here we go. So we've got hopper control, ammunition plant control, heavy weapon forge, food processor, builders, armor forge, auto loom, weapon forge, pyrotechnics. I think I built one of just about every type of like maker type machine that there is. And so anyway, we'll look at ammunition plant control. And with the various perks and stuff that I have, well, actually the amount or type and amount of ammunitions that you can make is dependent on your gun nut and sometimes on science and that kind of thing too, right?
Oh, okay.
So I can make like the most basic ones, the ones that I could make first were like 10 millimeter, 308, 38, 45 kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got higher level, and shotgun shells, and when I got higher level perks, well, then I could suddenly start to make 44 rounds and 2 millimeter electronic cartridges and all that kind of stuff, or electromagnetic cartridges, and so on. But anyway, we want to make 45 rounds.
All the 45s.
Yeah. And it tells us what we need. We need 2 steel and 1 fertilizer. Okay? So what I did was I tried to build a factory with these sorting component sorters. And what I wanted to do is, okay, so we've got steel and fertilizer here in this component sorter, right?
Yeah.
So it will sort, and when it has enough of the appropriate items in the sorter, well then it feeds them into this thing, and then when there's enough of the right types of components in this thing, then it'll just automatically start making ammunition.
Yep.
And I've got some 308 rounds there that I guess it made. Right, and over here I've got anything with bone in it gets sorted out into this storage hopper. So anyway, and there's also some spillage here because you know, like if you run the thing too fast, stuff will pile up on the conveyor and then fall off.
Yeah, what do they say, that this is outside of the safety specifications?
Yeah, just like in real life, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're running your aggregate plant, there's, you know, the idea being that you want to run it as fast as you can, but if you run it too fast, well, then you're going to end up with things escaping from the system and ending up on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Or possibly plugging chutes and that kind of stuff. And by the looks of it, it's an ongoing thing, and it's too bad that you can't assign
a settler to do this,
right? Because in
real... you just took that out of your component sorter there.
What? Oh, did I?
Yep.
What was in there?
Cloth or something like that.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, cloth. Put that back. So anyway, the way this whole system is supposed to work, and right now I've got it set up so that it's basically just dumping everything into this hopper.
Yep.
Because I've got it set up with a series of switches. So this is the main feed hopper here. And what I did was I put a vacuum hopper here so that if anything that I put into the workbench, regardless of what it is, right, will get drawn out of the workbench and directly into this system. Right, and then it'll go into this elevator and onto that conveyor and into this hopper. And if I can find the switch here. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm also sneaking. I don't need to sneak, I don't think. If I turn this switch off, then what happens is it shuts that little hopper door, right?
Yep.
And then everything will go from this hopper into this suction hopper and then out onto the line, right?
Okay.
So the idea was that I wanted to basically collect everything, you know, dump everything in the workbench, and then I can turn this line on and it will draw everything out and dump it into this hopper.
Yep.
And then when I get things that are not components that I have designated in these sorting stations, like here I've got adhesive, oil, gears, springs, screws, and steel, which may be why I'm not getting any steel out here in my ammunition plant, right? Because it's already being sorted out of the system over here.
What's going on?
So there still is a certain amount of manual operation here. If I want to get steel over to my ammunition plant, I would have to remove it from this component sorter, right?
Yep.
In order to actually get it to go past this heavy weapon forge here, right? Because as you can see, there's a pretty long list of stuff in here that has steel in it.
Finding anything good? No.
And so we gotta...
As well as 94 steel.
Yeah, as well as, whoops, 94 steel. And a shipment of steel. Right? So all my steel got, and any components like that, scalpel, metal bucket, lantern, new toy truck, you know, handcuffs, like all this stuff, right? All got sorted out long before it made it to the, so now I can go and I can put it all in here, right? I'll put all my junk items in here.
You'd almost need like a lever that turns on and off certain belts or something.
Well, yeah, I haven't quite figured it out yet, but the thing is that if you apply power at any point here, it seems to turn all of this stuff on.
Yep.
And I don't know whether there's, like, I don't know whether there's bypasses that you can use to, you know,
fix
like
that kind of thing.
Turn off certain things or whatever. Like it's pretty complicated when you think about it, actually.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've got it automated now, and we should start seeing. See, there's glass. If I've got something that sorts glass out somewhere here, I don't know whether I do or not. That one's got nothing there, but it doesn't really have any use for glass, I don't think, in a weapons type of thing. And then I got aluminum here, so anything aluminum will get sorted out into this one. And this one, anything acid, containing acid, will get sorted out into this one.
Okay.
Right, and then anything containing wood here. So I guess what I could do if I had an item of glass, if I go
What's up, bleacher creature?
up the thing here, and grab a chunk of glass off of there, and then I run over here, and I put that piece of glass in here. Now, any glass that comes past this sorter, you hear the little ding?
Yep.
And now it's going to get routed into this storage bunker container kind of thing, right?
Oh, okay.
So it looks like everything is largely built. It's just that now it's just figuring out kind of how all of this is supposed to work. And you know what? That's pretty cool, because I've seen marbles or rubber balls and that kind of stuff on conveyors before too.
Yep.
Right, because I used to work in the garbage business as well for a while.
Yep.
Garbage processing.
Yep.
And you'd see stuff like this on a conveyor belt, and actually these items behave very much the way that they do when you actually see them on a conveyor belt, right? Like, they don't really move down the conveyor very well.
Just kind of roll backward.
Just kind of roll. Yeah, they spin. Oh, look at, see? Now our ammunition plant started because we got a little bit of steel in here, right?
Yep.
And what did it say we needed? Steel and lead?
Yeah, steel and lead, I
Or
think.
steel and fertilizer or something.
Oh, yeah. Steel and
fertilizer. So we've got some fertilizer in here, and here comes our first box of 45 rounds. And when it runs out, of course, then this thing will stop, right?
Yep.
When it runs out of materials to make the ammunition with.
Huh?
So we'll just let it do its thing here while we go around and have a look. Actually, I've got lots of stuff in here for various different types of ammunition, right? Copper, fertilizer, lead, plastic, steel, those seem to be
all the components you need
common components that you need to make ballistic ammunition of different types, right? And so if we have a look up here and see, we'll just make sure we're not actually actively sorting any of that stuff out. Because that's a tricky part too, right? Is that you can accidentally sort something out further up the line.
Yep.
When you actually need it further down the line, right? Yeah, so this one's got just anything that has cloth in it.
What's the word?
Then, of course, this one here, like if I get a whole bunch of stuff that's not junk items in here, well, then I can eventually, you know, turn this switch back on, this switch over here, and that'll open this little trap door and dump this stuff out onto this conveyor, which will send it all out into this sort of storage place, right?
Yep.
And then I can sort out junk items from non-junk items and stick them back in that hopper, and then have them go out into the plant again, right? And
nice.
It's actually too bad. I kind of expected that the vacuum hoppers would only pull junk items out of the workshop bench, which is
but they pull everything.
But they pull everything. Like even if you've got guns stored in there, Fat Man missile launchers. You should see what a complete giddy up buttercup does when it feeds down the conveyor belt and tries to go into one of these things, right?
Really?
Yeah. And of course, at the control panel here, you can also control how fast this whole plant runs too, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I turned it up so that the conveyor belts and everything were all running at the hopper was feeding out at the maximum speed, and the conveyor belts were all running at the maximum speed. And within 5 minutes, I had a huge pile up at the input to one of these sorters, right? So it basically piled up in front of it, and then everything was just falling off the conveyor onto the ground right there, right?
Oh, God.
Just like in real life. Because used to have unplanned jams and pile-ups and things like that all the time, too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, it was fun.
Knowing those raiders are taken care of will go a long way.
Interested the old industrial applications worker in me, I guess, to go back. Oh, look at that! I just got a.
Oh, it's an interesting problem to solve too, right? Getting all this stuff worked out. But at least you get something out of it too, right? Like ammo and weapons for your settlers and things like that.
I just got a shipment of adhesive. Wow. Just drop it in here for now. See, what happens too is that if you there. Anyway, we need to get a drink of water and something to eat. Yeah. And we'll get something to eat here, and we'll maybe head over to Green Top Nursery and see if we can rescue those guys, hey?
All right.
Since we're still waiting for the next thing here.
Well, I mean, you got time to kill, you might as well do something else. But it was cool to see the ammunition plant. Maybe we can work on it off camera here.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's still a lot more components that could be built. And
Don't forget to grab your 45s before you head out.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I would have to physically expand this thing into a bigger footprint, though, in order to have a main line. Because that's what I tried to do, is have a main line traveling through in a loop, right?
Yeah.
And then have side lines going off of it with those sorters, right?
But you just ran out of room.
But I ran out of room. It's also very costly in components to build something like this.
Yeah.
Wow, I've got 200. Okay, well, you know what? I'll just take those and I'll let this thing continue on here, because 270 rounds should be plenty for now.
Yeah, you're fully loaded now.
Yeah, I'm fully loaded now. And we're off to Greentop Nursery to rescue the settlers.
So there you go. That's why that sort of stuff is worthwhile, guys.
Yeah, we haven't really spent a lot of time on settlement building and that kind of stuff on camera.
But it is quite beneficial.
In this playthrough. Uh-oh. Where?
You just made this personal, shithead.
Yeah, okay, there you are. Oh, I guess the turrets will take care of the rest.
Problem solved.
I hope we can at least get back the cost in ammo.
Get back the cost in ammo. Well, I'll take those, and we'll just let the tidy bot pick up the rest.
Yeah, well, you know,
Hey,
no
anything
man,
you
no
need?
problem.
You just take care of it yourself.
Yeah, anything you need, you just take care of it yourself.
Or get your tidy bot to do it for you.
Yeah. But I just have to wait for the lights to turn green now, and then we can leave. And it'll do its thing while we're gone. Actually, I could do some scrapping on the workbench here too, because I picked up a bunch of stuff that needs to be
broken down,
right?
Like all that super mutant crap.
Yeah. Oops.
Wonder if you could feed that stuff through the conveyor.
Well, it won't
Nice
break
to be able
down
to stretch
guns and
my legs again.
weapons
I
and stuff
wasn't
like
made to
that.
stay in one spot.
Like it'll put the like once you break down these things into individual component type items.
Yeah.
Then you can put those into the system, right? Because now they're junk, right? But
like valuable stuff, it'll pull out, but it won't break down.
yeah, well, basically what'll happen is, like, say if I put a submachine gun in here, well, it would just follow through the whole system and come back around and drop in the hopper again, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, there. Now we can do that, and then I'll just drop off a few other things that I picked up that I don't really need to carry around with. Just because I picked a few clothing type items and stuff out of the hopper while we were fooling around over there.
Yep.
So I'm just going to throw them back in the workbench for now.
And the frag mines that you picked up off the ground.
Yeah.
Which we're probably just going around and around and around, right?
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate that they didn't set the thing up so that it only pulls junk items out of the bench, right? Because it would have been, that's what I had assumed when I set this all up.
Instead, you'd need like some sort of separate thing where you just take out all your junk items and stuff them in a thing.
Yeah, you'd have to put a sorter in ahead of the main hopper there.
Yep.
Like, I think you'd have to put a sorter in on this line right here, right after this thing, but before this.
Yep.
Right? And then you'd have to have enough room to put a line out somewhere where you could collect stuff, kind of like this, that would be non-junk items, and then all the junk items would get fed into here, right? Except for things like the bottle caps and other small items like that too, right?
Yep.
But you'd have to put one of each component type into that sorter so that it would recognize the components and only pull items that had those components in it.
The master sorter.
Yeah, basically, you know what? I think you're right. I think that's what I'm missing. So maybe that's what I'll have to do off camera.
There you go.
Is tinker with that a little bit more and see if I can reconfigure things a little to add one more sorter right at that suction hopper that pulls right out of the main workbench.
I mean, you figured that out all yourself, but you know what? Fuck it. I'll take credit. I'm a genius.
Well, sometimes it helps just to have a sounding board too, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
that's true.
Because, you know what? I think better when I think out loud. So yeah, maybe the next time we show that off, I'll have gotten that straightened out so that you can actually just dump everything in. You don't have to sort anything out as much manually. Mm-hmm. And I think that a big step in that direction is to have the thing that sorts junk components out from everything else.
Yep.
And have it in that one sorter that feeds it into that big hopper.
Yep,
right?
You're probably right.
And then anything else that doesn't have a junk component in it ends up in a storage bin. Oh, okay. We're supposed to go and attend the briefing, but I guess since we're already on our way to save Green Top... Oh, look, Covenant is under attack. They're right there, though. We can go and take care of that while we're here, too. It's like suddenly we're getting settlement attacks everywhere. Although I suspect all we need to do here is show up.
Yeah, it looks like there was a lot of missile turrets out there. Well, maybe you might want to keep your distance, like, holy crap.
Oh yeah, like you don't want to get friendly fired by your own missile turrets, yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow. Oh, look at that guy just grabbed a raider's gun. Relentless hunting rifle.
Oh, there's some more 45s.
Yeah.
Now that you made 270 of them, you're going to find a whole ton of them.
Still in one piece.
Yeah, well, we'll look at that. That guy has a synth component on him. I think I've got a Mr. Tidy thing here, too. We visited here before.
Right on your right there. Further right?
Oh, that's Deezer.
Yeah, you've gone past it now.
Oh, did I go past it?
Yep. Just right there.
Oh yeah, there it is. Right there. Hidden under the stairs. Okay. Well, we'll drop a few things in here too. I don't really need a relentless hunting rifle, so we'll just throw it in there.
Some settler will pick it up.
Maybe. Well, actually, you know what? That guy had every opportunity to pick it up. You can tell that it's a crap legendary weapon when even a settler doesn't pick it up, right?
Oh, God. Green light.
Green light, now we can go.
As you run into the back of the little thing?
Yeah. Anyway, he'll clean all that stuff up, and then I can come back later and just sift through that box. And I think Covenant is probably just about the smallest of the vanilla settlements, right? It has the lowest vertical build limit, because even that power generator up on the roof up there is actually outside the build limit, right?
Yep.
And it has the smallest footprint of any, like horizontal footprint of any settlement as well. Oh, you want to try some night vision?
Sure.
I just thought of this. Here's how we can get some night vision. Because I know I've demonstrated smoking lots and all that kind of stuff, but one thing that I haven't demonstrated yet is this. Which comes from the same mod, by the way.
Okay.
And it gives you a nice visual effect and all that kind of stuff. And of course you go through the same smoking animation. I mean, we've abused every drug that there is just about in the game, right? Why not this one too?
Yeah, what the hell?
There. See, now you get kind of like a weird blued effect.
Yep. Kind of like a weak night vision tank kind of thing.
Yeah, sort of. And if you look under statuses here, we get perception +5. Want to get high, man. So there we go.
I have to warn you.
Remember the
our
last
last three
time I had
sidekicks
green
each
tea?
died in under a week. So you know what you're getting into.
And of course, it just lasts for a few minutes. I mean, like most of these effects, right?
Yep.
It's not quite as fun as the Skyrim on Skooma one, where you get dancing dogs and like talking little old ladies with giant bobbleheads and
Yeah, well, didn't you have a
stuff
mod like
that.
this for Skyrim as well at some point?
Still do actually, yeah. Cannabis Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually the effect, the visual effects are kind of similar to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Except that their effects, of course, on gameplay are different because the game mechanics are a bit different. So you can get some strains that give you a penalty to your magicka total, but give you a buff to something else, and like that kind of thing.
Yep.
Looks like we're up against robots here. I just have an open gate here.
Sorry. Should have just run.
Okay, well, we defended Green Top Nursery.
Yes,
Looks
all the
like-
hardcore defending you did.
Yeah, and it looks like almost none of them got inside here. Yeah, the only ones that kind of got inside here were not really in a position where they could do a whole lot of damage. The other ones were all outside the fence.
Yep.
But anyway, I would imagine I've got a tidy bot here too somewhere. If I can find it. So that we can... maybe I don't have one here. I don't think I would have put it in the house.
Oh, well.
Oh, look at there's damaged water pump.
Probably just got hit in the crossfire.
Oh, look, I missed that crate.
See,
Okay,
it's
well,
because you didn't have a tidy bot.
yeah. Well, actually, no, the scrap bot is what does that.
Oh, okay.
But on these smaller settlements, usually it doesn't take very long to scrap these.
Yeah.
So I don't usually bother with the scrapping, like the scrap bot, Mr. Salvage, on the smaller settlements. But I will build a Mr. Tidy station pad here because these guys are actually pretty handy
For cleaning up corpses.
for cleaning up corpses. Change the tidying area, everything within scan range. And then we'll tell him to begin tidying. And as soon as he goes beep and starts doing his thing, then I guess we can start heading back toward Diamond City.
It was the tidying episode.
Yes, the Tidy Bot episode. Meanwhile, okay, they got a little bit of caps in there that I can grab. The lights are blue. Oh, gotta have a drink of water now. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, now we can be on our way. I think this is a more direct way out here. If we head out this way. Or we could have a nap here and do this during the daytime, because I don't think this other thing is like necessarily a time-sensitive thing. Although I don't know for sure, but I would assume.
Well, F5 is your friend.
Yeah, we're already late anyway. So.
Yeah, well, when did the meeting quest trigger? Like right at midnight?
No, it would have been like a little bit after 2 a.m. because that's when we finished up the last mission, right? But a guy has to sleep sometimes because otherwise you're going to end up like in a position where you're, you know, like badly tired, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you suffer like serious debuffs if you don't sleep.
Yeah. I'm not sure what this thing is checking for here, but sometimes I noticed in some settlements the timer when you're sleeping counts down slower, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that it seemed like it's going a little slowly.
Yeah, I don't know why, but they're obviously checking for something. I don't know what.
Settlement attack, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Doing some kind of random check of some sort. Okay, well, we'll have some iguana on a stick for breakfast.
Wonder how long that's been sitting in the pack.
Yeah, wow.
It just goes in your back pocket there, right?
That's right.
Just as good as any meat cellar. Or cold storage cellar.
Yeah. So anyway, one of the things that I was I like this outfit, but one of the things I was a bit disappointed in is that only one component of it takes ballistic weave. All the other little parts don't appear on the armor workbench at all. But then again, though, this outfit also doesn't take up very many body slots.
Yeah.
So if you use zap sliders, you can make invisible pieces from other mods that will accept ballistic weave and equip them too, right? So that's basically what I did. Like, I'm wearing several other things from other mods, like this vest from the Easy Girl mod, that chain bikini from the from another mod, basically, which is like a bikini swimsuit type thing.
Oh, okay.
And like a couple of other things that that occupy slots that this outfit does not occupy. And then just so it doesn't look bad, well, you use zap sliders and body slide to make those pieces invisible, so you can turn them the visibility of them off, so that all you see is just the outfit that you've got equipped, right?
Yep. And that way you don't have to choose between looking like a what the fuck is that guy thinking, and
the thing is that, you know what, just because you can equip stuff to empty body slots, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to look good, because you could end up with a mess where you've got clashing or incompatible looking pieces, clipping through one another and that kind of thing. which is why I figured out how to use zap sliders so that I can turn, like just like this situation. I want to wear this outfit, but I also want to have a little bit better protection because I'm a high level, player playing in the game, right?
Well, hey man, it can't be any worse than how you'd have to dress in Cyberpunk prior to the patch where they introduced outfits.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I am getting ready to download the Phantom Liberty expansion. I've got their latest, like patch 2.0 or whatever, and they changed a lot in that game.
Yeah.
And before, you had to mix and match and min-max clothing pieces and that kind of thing so that you'd look like a colorblind pimp when you were done dressing, just to get the maximum armor protection and stuff out of it, right?
Yes, yes.
But now, it doesn't matter what you wear. None of your clothing items and stuff have any value as armor anymore.
Yeah.
It's basically all done through cybernetic implants now, right?
Yeah.
And that's in a way a bit disappointing. I kind of didn't really have a big problem with the armor system that they had originally.
Especially after they introduced the outfit thing, right?
But once they introduced the outfit thing, I mean, yeah, okay, you can use it for custom cosmetics, but since you don't have to min-max outfit items anymore anyway, well, it kind of renders that feature obsolete now, because you can just wear anything you want and it doesn't have any bearing or effect on your armor protection anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So basically they introduced that new thing to make it so that it was a little easier for you to min-max your armor outfits and stuff, and then they
not look like a moron.
And not look like a moron, and then they went and they made that obsolete anyway. Right? So, I don't know.
I guess you'll have to see how it all plays out. You had recently started a new game of that, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I figured I'd practice up a little bit here before getting Phantom Liberty, because I was thinking about doing a playthrough of that, and for me, at least, the Phantom Liberty thing would be a blind playthrough.
Yeah.
Because I have not played the Phantom Liberty thing at all. And I did spend some time, like a few hundred hours, playing the original game.
Yep.
And I played it through completely, I think twice, right, with the different endings.
Yeah.
Like with 2 of the different endings. But, that was quite a while ago, too. And the game does play considerably differently now that they've made a whole bunch of changes to it. But it still is a very good game. Like, I have to say that I've heavily modded my Fallout 4 game, and I've heavily modded my Skyrim game, and the Oblivion game, even though it's relatively lightly modded, is still starting to accumulate quite a number of mods for it now too, right?
Yeah.
And the Cyberpunk game, I know that there are mods that exist for it, but from what I've seen and played of the game in a few hundred hours, to tell you the truth, that game, I'm going to say, doesn't have some of the shortcomings that these games, the Bethesda games, have that would make me want to mod it.
Okay.
You know, like I can play Cyberpunk right out of the box, and they have enough features and things that I like in it, especially character customization and that kind of thing, and character models. Like, they have pretty good looking character models, like much better than the out of the box Bethesda game character models are.
Especially in the last couple Bethesda games.
Yeah. And like, you have all sorts of choices and things. They have like, they could do a little bit more variety for tattoos and markings and stuff, but they do have a pretty good selection of that kind of thing that you can decorate your character with and all that kind of stuff. And you can make your character look almost any way you want. You know, including something that looks kind of similar to this, if you really wanted to, right? With the right out of the box game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like that's the kind of thing that you know, for me, yes, gameplay is important. It needs to be entertaining and exciting and action packed and all that kind of stuff. But it's also nice, for me anyway. I like to have, you know, like what I consider to be an attractive looking character to play with too, right?
And then there's me, and I'm just like default.
Yeah, I know
guy.
you're default guy. The one thing I will say that they're kind of missing in Cyberpunk is the ability to toggle back and forth between first person and third person, right?
Ooh.
That was somebody jumping off of something in power armor.
I guess you got tired of the traffic jam.
I guess so. Anyway, I'm going to have a smoke here before we go in.
So you create a hard save.
Yeah.
If you can find your smokes.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, the old
bandolier cigars.
yeah, the old inventory is starting to look kind of full here. But, you know, like I'll say that in this day and age, I really like the way that characters look when you can create them in Cyberpunk. You have a lot of different options and things. And like I said, the one shortcoming is that you don't get to see a lot of your time and effort that you put into your character in normal gameplay because it's strictly first person, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not going to say that first person is bad, because I play a fair amount even in this game in first person, depending on the situation, right? But I also like to be able to switch between first and third person because it's easier to keep track of where everybody is and to keep track of where obstacles are and that kind of thing. I mean, I find in Cyberpunk, you know, I'm starting to get used to it, but when I'm trying to move around to shoot at enemies and avoid return fire and that kind of thing,
You bump
and then
into stuff.
I'll bump into something because it's not in my line of vision, because basically in first person, you basically have tunnel vision, right? And I'll look down at my feet. Whoops, wrong button. I'll look down at my feet like this, and there's like a guardrail or something that's knee high that I ran into, but I couldn't see it because it wasn't in my field of vision when I'm out here looking for targets and that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
And, you know, I mean, where I'm sitting right now in this chair, I can't actually see my feet per se, but I can still sense the movement.
Yeah.
And I still have enough peripheral vision to be able to see if I were standing and about to walk into something, right? And that's the one thing they haven't solved in first-person games yet. Okay, well, here we go. Enough chatting. We're going to go and see how this is going to go.
Hey, you have your mission. You will be well compensated.
Oh, this is going to be the thing where you got to talk to her twice again.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's here. Thank you, everyone, for coming. This is a very important meeting. I've called Whitworth here to join us for reasons that will become apparent. Yesterday, with all of your assistance, Dr. McClintock was able to gather some high-quality subsurface images of the CIT campus. She and Lieutenant Dan reconstructed the images overnight to give us a clearer idea of what we're dealing with. Doctor?
While the GPR data doesn't give us granular detail, it tells us enough. We were correct in assuming that the Institute is under the CIT campus. The Institute itself is roughly the shape of a round, tall dome about 1 kilometer tall and 1 kilometer wide. The GPR only gave us a rough ping from the bottom of the dome, but it appears to be mostly a void filled with distinct and large architecture. The top of the dome is directly under the marble slab and surprisingly close to the surface, 10 or 20 meters at most, but still below sea level. As one would expect, the amount of cooling required to sustain their operations is considerable. They must deposit all that heat somewhere. There are a number of large ducts in and around the area, most of them unused, but we think we've found an active cooling system. GPR indicates at least 4 extremely large bore pipes running south from the dome and coming to an end at the bottom of the Charles River. The pipes terminate in several large, flat metal structures with a high albedo and surface area at the bottom of the river. Heat exchangers. Odds are good they circulate warm, purified industrial coolant water to the exchangers and return it after it's cooled off.
I'm guessing we ain't just gonna bust their air conditioning system in though, huh?
Yeah, we need to be a little more decisive in what we do with this information. Sheriff?
The Institute is a giant bunker, no doubt about it. A frontal assault, or even any sort of infantry maneuver, is totally out of the question. For all the protection being underground affords, it was designed with one major flaw. It is below sea level, and very close to the Charles River.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Our plan is based on the same principle as our operation against the railroad headquarters. But that's where the similarities end. We're going to flood the Institute with seawater.
This plan has Babs written all over it.
Indeed. She's turned into quite the secret weapon. It was Dr. McClintock's idea, and Whitworth's demolition expertise is going to make it possible. Whitworth.
So you're really gonna go through with this, huh?
Affirmative. You know as well as any here the ongoing threat the Institute poses to the Commonwealth. Hundreds kidnapped and murdered. People attempting to organize a Commonwealth government slaughtered wholesale. And now they've turned their attention to us. Lily would be dead right now if not for Crenshaw locating Lenny. They took out contracts to kidnap the Doctor and Mr. Dr. Pepper as well. This is intolerable. Were we nations, this would be an act of war. Even if it weren't required to get the Brotherhood to leave Boston and us alone, we would be pursuing this ourselves with this newfound intel. This is a threat we intend to neutralize, for our own safety and the safety of our children.
Sorry, just after so long with them in the shadows, it seems unreal we might be on the verge of ending it. Yeah, I can help you there. If this seems kind of like a staged presentation to all of you, it's because the sheriff, Dan, and Babs talked to me about this late last night. So what you want to do is flood the Institute with seawater. But as large bored as those pipes are, the space is too big to fill quickly. It'd probably take a few days to fill that place up, even with all 4 pipes busted wide open. And as much damage as that would do to their operations, it could probably be stopped by quick thinking and safety valves. You just piss them off. So you need a way to get the seawater into that dome fast. To do that, you need to remove a lot of bedrock between the river and the dome. I'd wager nobody here ever heard of a singularity bomb.
Singularity?
Can't say as I have.
No. And I like my bombs.
Singularity bombs are one of the last weapons made before the war. I've never seen one. They were all prototypes, and the project was top secret. I only know about them because I would read all those top secret weapon documents the merchants would bring me. You know, get a leg up on the competition, find out what's out there to buy and sell. Apparently some crazy fucking scientists managed to make a bomb that can spawn a tiny black hole wherever it detonates.
The fuck's a black hole?
It's a point in space where gravity is so strong. You know what? Skip the techno-babble, it'll just confuse you.
No, that's the nicest way anyone's ever called me an idiot, Whitworth.
The important thing is that everything in a 200-yard radius, and I mean everything, armor, people, buildings, bedrock, air, light, is all gone. It's sucked into the singularity almost as fast as the speed of light before the singularity itself runs out of steam and implodes. The cavitation pressure of the resulting vacuum will cause a giant shockwave in the bedrock void it leaves behind. So you've got a vacuum force pulling what's left of the bedrock wall along the void one way, and a sudden shockwave pushing it the other. That's how you're going to remove the bedrock between the Institute and the Charles River and make a bore wide enough to flood it in minutes. If I time it right, the bedrock wall between the river and the Institute will be shattered and crumble under the pressure of the ocean. I'd estimate nearly 1/8 to 1/10 of the entire dome will be shattered to the open ocean. You could fill it in just a minute or two.
That bomb looks so goddamn cool.
Yeah. And you had it here the whole time, right under your noses.
I'm certainly glad you kept it safe for us, Whitworth.
Huh? Me? I wasn't keeping it safe.
You told me you had it.
Oh, I didn't have it. I mean, I went and got it. And I have it now, but before that, Crenshaw had it.
Funny.
Oh no, I'm serious. He had it on that shelf of yours. Yeah, I knew what it was the moment I laid my eyes on it. That big green Saturn-looking thing in the gyroscopic containment field. I tell you, she's a real beauty.
What? I had an explosive device in my room?
Technically an implosive device, if that helps.
No, that doesn't help. That's not any better. Are you mental?
Good thing you didn't bump it, neither. You stopped that quantum gyroscope. Wow. Well, I've always wanted to see one of those beauties detonate.
Isn't that the one we were plinking caps off the other week for fun, Crenshaw?
Good thing you didn't get through the stabilizer rings. Bye-bye, department.
And you knew this whole time?
Let me see. Yep.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
We need to have a serious talk about risk management sometime, Whitworth. Does Crenshaw have any other weapons of mass destruction or similar doomsday devices in his room we don't know about?
You should smell our room in the morning after taco night.
Yep. There's at least 2 more in there. Probably don't want to bump those, neither.
Well, there you go, Iggy. Hope you learned your lesson about collecting cool-looking shit without knowing what it is. Do us all a favor and collect a venereal disease on your next field trip like any other soldier.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be sick.
Unbelievable. Okay, nobody go into Crenshaw's room until Whitworth and I have talked about his lack of self-preservation instinct and disarming these bombs. But right now we've got more pressing business. Continue.
That's what we needed the data for. I had to rig the charge to blow at a specific depth. We needed to know what depth and how to get it there. The resulting operation needs 2 separate payloads. One charge to bust open the exchangers first, and the other with Crenshaw's decoration. But you, Dan and Babs, know that already, so I'll let you explain.
Whitworth has given us a payload that can destroy the Institute. It's up to us to deploy it appropriately. Lieutenant?
The payload will be delivered to the heat exchangers on the river floor by a team in scuba-equipped power armor.
Well, that explains why I'm here.
Affirmative.
Ha! Right on! Rewrite again, Lily.
Actually, she and her sidekick ride again, Lieutenant. I spoke to Dr. Gary already, and he has not cleared your wound for exposure to seawater.
What? Are you serious?
I'm always serious.
That smooth-talking son of a bitch.
However, the T-60 seals still need to be checked, HUD data uploaded, and tanks switched out for amphibious mode. I believe that's your department.
Say no more, sir. I'm on it right now.
As you surmised, Lily, that is why you're here. This will be a submerged power armor operation. The time spent salvaging power armor off the Atom Cats' coast makes you, by far, the most experienced submerged power armor pilot we have. You and your team formed an extremely effective amphibious assault unit. We need that skill again.
My team? You really mean it?
Were you not the one who led them across the seafloor and to take the Atom Cats' garage? Was the report incorrect?
Well, yeah, of course. That's what you asked me to do. I just never thought of it as my team.
Then it was your team. Now, I believe Lieutenant Dan was going to brief you and your team about this.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Sorry.
Eyes on the map, everyone. Lily and her team will enter the Charles River from a heavily wooded area on the south shore, approximately 1 kilometer west of the CIT campus. They will proceed east on foot at the bottom of the river, under the bridge, and deploy the payloads at the heat exchangers. The first explosive device is designed to rupture the heat exchanger at the head of the return pipe, opening a route much deeper into the ground. The second explosive is the Singularity device. It will be sucked into the ruptured return line and detonate at a predetermined depth. Unlike with the Atom Cats garage operation, you will be returning using the same route, and you must remain submerged at all times. To minimize the chances of detection, you will be...
Let me guess, we're doing this at night?
Affirmative. Feet get wet at 2000 hours.
I'm kinda digging this night ops thing we got going on here.
As As I was saying, stealth is key here. You need to remain submerged at all times. You shouldn't have much of a problem doing that. The river is particularly deep in that area, with the exception of the bridge underpass. The first explosive is a standard demolition device to rupture the coolant return pipe. It is controlled by a remote detonator. The second explosive, the singularity device, is neutral buoyancy and hooked to a sustained pressure switch, a depth sensor of sorts. It will be drawn into the coolant return pipe towards the Institute and detonated at the proper location, if all goes well. Your power armor HUDs will be loaded with an overlay of waypoints and the deployment location. Place your packages exactly where they indicate. The positioning of both is critical to their success. Do not forget to tie off the singularity bomb with the magnetic tether. It is zero buoyancy and will drift away with the current if you don't. Return along the same route you came and meet with Harkins on the roof of the apartment building by the plutonium well south of Diamond City. Trigger the explosion from her position and observe to verify detonation.
Which one? There's 2 or 3 of them down there.
The tall well facing the river by the ruined street corner directly south of the main gate. The roof gives a good vantage point for the blast site.
So, what sort of light show are we looking for? How are we supposed to verify this thing went off and did what it was supposed to?
That is a good question. Whitworth?
Oh, that's easy. It should look like... well... well, you just... Wait, no, that's not right. You got me. I don't know.
This is awkward.
We've been monitoring energy bursts for years from that spot. Those should stop, right? Does their music station transmit from there too?
The signal is certainly the strongest in that area. Crenshaw, can you accompany Harkins and take telemetry readings? As the doctor stated, observe the classical radio station signal and monitor for teleporter energy burst signatures. Stay out of sight. Do not fire a single shot unless absolutely necessary. Maintain radio silence. The Institute cannot know we are there.
Sir.
Scuba-equipped power armor with HUD data is in the power armor bay. Both explosive devices...
Implosive.
The devices are in the armory. Any questions?
You get to carry the bomb of death down.
Yeah, I've still got the power armor you issued from before. I'm ready. Let's go give these nerds the world's biggest swirly.
Might I suggest returning it and piloting one with inspected seals and fresh air tanks? It's waiting for you in the power armor bay.
Okay.
I have no idea what that means, but if it's good, we're glad
You just
you're
know what a
with us.
swirly is.
You won't be alone out there, Lily. Harkins will be stationed on the overpass. She will quickly end any threat that may come your way. But after the GPR scans we took, the Institute will be very paranoid. We can't send more than her or we risk them discovering us. Keeping the team too small to notice served us well against the Institute previously, so we're doing it that way again.
Good luck out there, everyone. Come home safe to us.
Lily's team, remember your orders. Follow them to the letter. We are a team and work best as one.
Okay. Send the Institute to a watery grave. Enter your fresh FSD issued power armor. Okay. I guess we need to probably pick a, there. Right over there. I'm not going to return the other suit. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, I think you left it at the Atom Cat's garage, didn't you?
No, I left it at Red Rocket Boston, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I need to check and make sure I've got extra power. Yeah, I'll have to stop by there to pick up extra
fusion cores.
Fusion cores, anyway, before we head on to this wonderful adventure.
Atom Cat style. How about you carry the useless heavy shit for a change?
Okay. I guess we gotta talk to Lily now.
Hey. Where at? Good. Let's get the explosives, now.
Okay, retrieve the explosives for the mission. Okay, where are they? Guess they're over this way.
Oh, okay, they're in the armory
in
now.
the FSD armory, which you have to stand a very specific distance away from the door in order to get into.
That's because it opens outwards.
So what's the gizmo, huh? I don't like that sound it's making. Hey, Whitworth, you sure this funky thing ain't giving me brain cancer or something?
Not even remotely.
Okay, good. Wouldn't want to wake up a ghoul or nothing.
No, I mean, I'm not even remotely sure it won't give you brain cancer. You hear that thing? If giving people brain cancer had a sound, that'd be it.
Typical.
A Geiger counter showed no
God.
radiation emissions above background levels. The only energy coming from it is what you can see and hear.
Remember what Dan said about neutral buoyancy? That thing isn't supposed to float or sink, it goes with the current. It's critical to use that magnetic tether and put it right where the HUD indicates. It'll just drift off without that. The magnet holding it will shatter in the demolition blast, and it'll be free to ride the current down the coolant return pipe into the Institute.
Got it. Anything else?
I don't send you on this task lightly, but there is nobody better suited in the Commonwealth for submerged power armor tactics. Come back to us in one piece so we can resume dinner nights.
You love me. One of these days you're gonna say it, Sheriff. Ha.
Certainly not in front of everyone. Please be safe, Lily.
I will. I promise. Come on, let's go fuck some nerds up.
Okay, so I guess we're supposed to grab this thing?
Yep.
Okay. Proceed to the water entry point. Arrive between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. What time is it now?
10:19 p.m.
It is 10:19 p.m.?
10:19 p.m.
So I guess we're not going there today. Okay, well, maybe we'll head back to Boston Red Rocket and
What is it?
Get your fusion cores.
get my fusion cores and maybe have a nap while we're killing time, and we'll pause while we're going outside.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and since we are getting to the point where we are nearly out of time for this episode, I think we're going to head over to the Boston Red Rocket and pick up our spare fusion cores.
And then you'll be all ready to go for the next episode.
And then have a nap, because we're already past the time that we're supposed to arrive there.
Yep.
You have the right idea. Power armor. Only way to travel.
Yeah, I wonder if I have to upgrade this set too.
Probably.
Because I upgraded the other set, right?
Well, that couldn't hurt, right?
Yeah, the other set has got a lot higher. I could just put on the other set too. Because power armor does work in vanilla perfectly well underwater. You don't need any, you know, like they may have talked about having special fittings and all that kind of good stuff. But, oh, okay, somebody came and collected it for me. I guess they really wanted it back.
It was their power armor, damn it.
It was their power armor, and they took it back. Yeah, okay, well, anyway. Fusion cores. We've got lots of spare fusion cores. We've got a whole whack of them here, so we're going to take them all. And I guess we'll just call this an episode for now.
All right.
So when we come back next time, maybe we will be ending the Institute.
Well, there you go.
Using
Singularity bomb.
a singularity bomb, this is much more of a tactical military solution than any of the vanilla solutions. But anyway, until then,
I'm Rec B5.
and I'm Sandman 99.
Have a good one.